Hi guys, I'm Michael here, and today's video will be a little bit different because I will be not talking about any of the strategies, any of the forecast, but we will be talking about the setup for trading and what you might need and what mistakes you should avoid. And this will be mixed up with maybe something like I don't know, don't want to say showing off with my setup, but just to showcase you what I use on a daily basis and what mistakes I made, and yeah, what you could do to save money and to, buy everything you need at a fairest price. And, do not overextend your budget, because that is most important in trading. You do not want to, spend too much on the hardware itself and on the software as well. We will be also talking about the software just a little bit to showcase you that you don't need, for example, so many monitors and I will explain why I do have those three right here. So maybe let's start from the basics and the basic gear that you would need for trading is simply a laptop. And I am saying a laptop because currently I'm running a station now, the station PC. But it is due to the things that I'm doing a part of trading, which is video editing. So I needed something to have, which could do both things. And when I was reading, analyzing, and deciding whether to buy a laptop, it was difficult to buy a good laptop with very strong GPU. So I decided to try and firstly buy a station PC. So let's start from the beginning. I have down here the notes that I want to address, that I want to talk about. So the first thing that you will be deciding is whether to buy a stationary PC or a laptop. And to be fair, at the beginning, you don't need a station PC because it is too much. It will take too much time to, assemble all the things and, choose the correct ones, because any hardware, the motherboard, the GPU, CPU, etc., and all the other accessories, they need to be compatible with each other, and on top of that, you need to buy a monitor. So I think the laptop is I think it's a no-brainer. Firstly, it's because it will save up you the time. So on top of that, you can take it away with you. So if you are traveling or if you are moving around from place to place, the laptop is the best solution for this. And I will be talking about the specs that you need to be checking. You need to have choose in order to have at least a decent laptop. You don't need to buy any laptop, any gaming laptop, etc. There is no need for that. I will be talking about the specs. So first thing is the CPU, because this is one of the most important things in your laptop. It needs to have 6. If it can have 6, I think maybe with 4 you could get away, but 6 cores are the minimum for your PC, and 16 gigabytes of RAM as well. So these two things are important because, for example, the backtesting of automated strategies and running those EAs is very CPU and RAM heavy. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, for example, if you are, of course, trading on a daily basis, most likely you are not all the time watching the charts, and meantime you have opened a trading platform and an internet browser, and the internet browsers are heavy on RAM, like Google Chrome, for example. But I guess you already know that. So I mentioned also that you don't need to have more than 32 gigs of RAM. I think that is obvious. There are no such heavy tasks that will require more than that. So everything above 32 gigs of RAM is overpricing for the amount of work it needs to be done on your PC. And another thing is also that if you are, for example, running multiple platforms, it will go heavy on your CPU. So as for the graphics card, you don't need any of like GTX, RTX 3090 or something like that. None of that stuff. Just have in mind that it would be good if you would have a dedicated graphics card, because if you would have integrated graphics card, it would take some of your RAM in order to run a graphics card. So for example, if you buy 4-core CPU, 60 gigs of RAM and integrated graphics card, most likely the graphics card takes 2 or 4 gigs of RAM of your total amount that is installed on your laptop in order to run the graphics course. So that's one thing also that is a thing that you have in mind. And another thing is the size of the PC. From my experience, I know that, for example, 30.3 inch or 14 inch for trading is a little bit small. It is also small from my perspective, from my experience, for almost anything. If you are if you are a simple user that you just need to read or type messages on a laptop, and that maybe is enough for you. But from my perspective, that I'm seeing standard 50.6 inch or 16 inch is a good choice. Okay, so I mentioned about the screen size. So now maybe let's talk about that you don't need additional screens in order to trade actively, because on a daily basis there are not that many occasions to trade. If you are, for example, some hardcore scalper that you take 100 trades per day, maybe for that you would need additional monitor. But to be fair, if you are trading with such high frequency, you are trading on very small time frames, and maybe 2 or 3 currency pairs, maybe 2 or 3 assets at one time. So therefore also I don't think you would need in this case also the another additional monitor. And the thing that could eliminate the need for additional monitor is, for example, the software, which for example I use. And what I have on me is the trading alerts. So if you are trading on a daily basis, and for example, maybe you don't want to stare blindly and purposely on the charts, because it can happen that, for example, you are looking at 10 currency pairs at one time. You are focusing on some analysis on one currency pair, and then the other occasion occurs on some other asset. To eliminate this scenario, it could happen that you will miss that even if you have additional monitors, but you could eliminate such an event if you would, for example, use Trendspider software. And this software is a charting software like TradingView, but with that difference that you can set multi-factor alerts. So for example, what I have on me, you are trading on those 10 currency pairs, or 10 financial assets, and you are trading with a strategy that combines crossover of 2 moving averages and, for example, additionally, the RSI when it is in overbought, in oversold zone. So therefore you are setting such a software for all of the 10 assets, and therefore you can very easily, peacefully, we can say, browse the internet looking for another informations. And when this occasion occurs on the chart, the software will alert you on such event, and therefore you can go back to the trading platform and see what is going on. in which place it occurs, and is it everything correct according to your strategy, and whether to make a decision to take a trade or not. So that is the case. I will show you how it looks, how how you can conduct those alerts, and you need to have in mind that this charting software is not cheap. I guess it's like from what I checked, is around $80 or $70 per month. So yeah, it's not the cheapest one, but if you are serious with your trading and you have sufficient capital, I think that is a good choice for you. So you can do at the time you are trading, you can do other things as well. You don't need to stare at the charts and just lose the time that you have. You can use it in to read some book, to read some news, to conduct others, to backtest other strategy, etc, etc. Okay, so I talked about the specs for your PC, and it is important to have to buy the laptop instead of a stationary PC, because it gives you the freedom of place. You are not tied to one place, and yeah, that carrying a big luggage with this PC, additional monitors, you need to have additional desk that you need to trade on. Of course, if you have a laptop, you also need to have a desk, but with the monitors, additional monitors and stationary PC, you need to have like a good desk that you could mount those monitors and stuff like that, and all the cables, etc, etc. So yeah, that is just a waste of resources. Okay, and now I will show you my setup and discuss all the mistakes that I did, and yeah, to showcase them you, and yeah, that you could just avoid them when creating something similar for yourself. Okay, so I raised up the desk in order to have better access to all the gear. So maybe, yeah, let's start with the desk. This is a oak wood desk. It's 4 centimeters thick. I don't know how much inches in that, but yeah, in Europe we use centimeters. So it is a custom-made desk. It has a couple quirks and features like this, for example, hole here, in order to have better cable management, to have access to the cables, for example, like for my headphones, and yeah, the USB-C port and stuff like that. And so you also noticed that those monitors are, and yeah, maybe let me correct that. Where are you? Okay, better. So you probably noticed that they are not standing on their default stands. They are standing on those additional metallic stands, in order for me to have this space over here, to have much more space on the desk for my stuff. And this video also motivated me to make a cleaning to clean the stuff from the desk. Usually you could also probably notice from other videos that sometimes there is quite messy in here. So I was talking to you about also the Trendspider. Here is the platform of the Trendspider, but yeah, we will be talking about that maybe in a second, or maybe let's check it right now. So what I was talking about is that you could create multi-factor alerts, and how you can do it is that you go for create alert, multi-factor alert, and here you have stuff like that. You add parameters, and for example, a group of conditions, and first you have the indicator on which time frame from the chart that you have visible over here. Right now the chart of USD Swiss franc is open, and you choose here the time frame of this chart, but let's give me expert mode. Okay, and right here you choose the indicator. So let's, for example, exponential moving average, and when it is crossing another indicator from, of course, 4-hour time frame and another exponential moving average. This one is 20, but maybe this one we want to be 50. And so apply, and yeah, just create an alert. So that is basically the easiest way to avoid using many monitors. And yeah, I do have 3 of those because I am also editing videos alongside trading, and yeah, do many of other tasks. So these are 3 Samsung monitors. These are 4K monitors, so that is my first mistake. I thought it would be better for me to edit videos, to see more details on the screen, etc., etc. To further increase the quality of the videos and increase, the quality of editing for me. But ended up making me many problems alongside, because when I, for example, wanted to have videos with a lower resolution, 1080p, not 4K, if you record 1080p from a 4K video, it decreases the resolution so much, it is very grainy, a sandy effect, and it looks like I need to beep that if I would want to say that loud. Yeah, that's the as for the monitors. So it is better for you to buy 1080p full HD monitors instead of those. I thought also that it will increase the amount of the amount of applications that I could add to one monitor, but you also have this settings in Windows where you could choose the size of the icons and the taskbar, etc. So it could do the same, but I already bought them, and yeah, I'm stuck with them at the moment. And as for the price, because this is an important thing, the price of those monitors is relatively more expensive to those 10 with the 1080p. It's like those 3 monitors costed like 1,200 euros, 1,200 euros, something like that, maybe slightly more. And I think it would be at least a quarter or 2/3 or 1/3 of the price if you would buy the FHD full HD monitors, and these are 32 inches monitors. So yeah, they are quite big. So although all those 3 are 96 inches of screen size. So yeah, maybe let's go with the other stuff. This is the wireless keyboard, Dell keyboard, and it was in a package with the mouse, but the mouse from this package was not good, was we can say, and I had to buy a separate one. But it is a very good keyboard. I don't know how it is named, what is the spec of this keyboard, but it's a very good one, very good to type on it. And so yeah, we talked about the stuff we have above the desk. Now maybe let's go down and talk about the specs of the PC. But I need to have good sound, so I need to lower the mic. Okay, I think that is okay. I think that would be good. So as you can see, that's my station. And yeah, as for the specs, it has a 12-core CPU, the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. Yeah, as I said, 12-core. The graphics card is the GeForce RTX 360 Ti. 8 gigs of VRAM, and yeah. As for the performance with the 4K editing, even if you bought a slightly better one, 360 or 370 or 370 Ti, 4K video editing, would not be very maybe not, we can say, great or not great, but if you spend so much money on a new PC, on a new computer, you would expect that the performance will be better than it is in reality. So yeah, that's I can say in a nutshell. So these are the specs for the PC. I also forgot to mention that it has 32 gigs of RAM. So yeah, you can also see my cable management here, and the notch that it is grabbing the PC. It was also the the specs for the desk. So resuming everything that I talked about in the video, the first thing that you need to remember is that to buy a laptop, it is better to buy a laptop instead of a station PC, because you can take it away with you on a trip, or when it is easier to move it while you, for example, moving from one place to another. And how you can avoid buying additional monitors is to just buy good software that will provide you good signals that you can use them while trading with your strategies. So the second thing, the specs that we talked about, the RAM and CPU, and it would be good to have a dedicated graphics card. It doesn't need to be a good one. It can be like a simple one, the MX, GeForce MX, or some AMD Radeon, but it would be good if you would have the dedicated GPU, so that graphics card would not steal the RAM from other components. And to remember, if you have decided to buy external monitor, either way, to not buy the 4K monitor, only the full HD, the 1080p. That way you will save the money. And also to have in mind, when you are buying a laptop, to not buy the laptop with the 4K monitor, because it will eat up your battery a lot. And as for the recommendations for the laptops, there are no affiliate links and stuff like that. This is just purely my experience and the stuff that I read online. And trust me, I read a lot when I bought before I bought this PC. And the laptop's good for trading that have good amount of RAM, good graphics card, decent graphics card. That way you could just use the full potential of the laptop. And good CPU are the Lenovo laptops, ThinkPad or IdeaPad ThinkPad. And yeah, they have also a very, very good battery, and they are well built. They are a bit slightly more expensive, but it's not that you would need to rob a bank to buy one of these. So yeah, with that said, thank you for watching. I hoped it was some kind of entertaining, some kind of good tips before you buy your trading station from the hardware perspective. So thanks for watching, and till next time, guys, take care, bye.